So I know there's a few videos about replacing the belt on a 3.0 Mercruiser engine. I thought I'd make a video a little more detailed than what I've actually found here on YouTube. First step, you're going to want to take one of these little scissor jacks, place it underneath the front of the engine block here, and jack it up, and all that does is kind of hold it in place, because you do actually have to remove the engine mount right here. Alright, so I use that 16mm socket to go ahead and take these two bolts out of this engine mount. That was right there. Next step, you're just going to want to use, I got a 13mm wrench here to remove this bolt from the alternator. That'll just help you release some tension from the belt to take it off, and then also allow it to be a lot easier to get your new belt on. If your alternator is a little rusted on this little track here, it's easy to use a 2x4, some form of pry bar, to kind of move it, which will release some tension there. As you can see, that made the belt quite a bit looser. So I pushed that alternator all the way in. Your belt should pop off. It's just a matter of feeding it down through. And that's why it's important to take that mount off, because it'll allow the belt to slide out at that portion. And also, while I have this off, I'm going to go ahead and take a wire brush and clean up some of these pulleys here, because they are a little rusty. And just to show you guys, I see a lot of people asking exactly what belt. This one's been using the Goodyear Gatorback, which I've heard really good reviews on, and it is the 13411. So I'm just going to take one of these big old wire brushes, try to sand this down as much as I can here, and then I'm actually going to paint it to help keep the rust from coming back. Alright, so as you can see, I went ahead and sanded this down and put some Rust-Oleum on it, so that way the rust on it hopefully won't eat away at the new belt. And I know I said this before, but I ended up getting the Continental 13411. I believe this is actually taken over for Goodyear on making these V-bands. So it's just a matter of finagling it back through there and getting it around each of the pulleys. And once you got that belt on there, you're probably going to want to take this board again to move this alternator out. As you can see, it's not even close to being all the way out here like it was with the old belt. That shows how worn out the old belt was. So I'm just going to kind of give some leverage on this, bring the alternator out. Next step is going to be to put back in and tighten this bolt back up that holds the alternator in place. And then you just want to slide this bracket back in that you originally took those two bolts out. And then reinsert your two bolts through. Gotta kind of make sure this is lined up. And once those two are tightened in, all you do is let your jack back down, take it out of there, and there you go. You switched your belt.